What's up everyone, it's me Condessa and welcome to my first makeup video. And today I'm going to be talking about putting on eyeshadow specifically for beginners. Well, putting on eye makeup is actually the most tricky part of putting on your overall makeup because it kind of requires artistry because it involves mixing up colors and putting on shapes depending on what kind of look that you would like to have. Now, we watch many makeup tutorials on YouTube and there are just so many amazing makeup artists and they're quite entertaining and they're all worth watching, but the question here is that can you actually apply those techniques to yourself? Sometimes we try to copy their techniques and in the end of the day we just realize that it doesn't work for us. One main factor for that is most of the YouTubers are Caucasians and of course they have different types of eyes. Now for Asians like me, I have a very shallow crease and you know their technique may not work for me, and of course we also have to apply the basic contouring on the eyes as well. Now I'll be focusing on two things. First is the color and secondly the eyeshadow brushes. Now let's start with the color. Now for beginners, I would really suggest you to start with neutral colors instead of jumping into experimenting bright colors like bright yellow, red, bright blue. Starting with neutral colors would help you to have a more natural look. Now what are the neutral colors? These are the nudes, the earthly colors, the blushy colors. Now if you're not sure what are these colors, when you go to a makeup store you just have to look for a palette that has the word neutrals or nudes or basics. Now if you see those on the brands, then you're definitely looking at the right palette. Now if you'd like to invest on your first eyeshadow palette, I would strongly suggest the ever famous Urban Decay Naked. Now what I have here is the Urban Decay Ultimate Basics. Now it has neutral shades. So there's like the brown ones and the light pink eyeshadows, and it works really well on me. And yeah, if you'd like to invest in something really nice, yeah, I would really recommend Urban Decay Naked palette. Now if you are on a very tight budget or if you want to be practical, I would say that eyeshadows from the drugstores are not so bad. You just have to be careful because some eyeshadows, they're kind of talky. Like let's say there are two dark shades. When you put them on your eyes, they all look the same. So one dark blue or one dark pink, when you put them on the eyes, they all look the same. But some are really nice and they're not so bad. I would strongly recommend this palette from Maybelline. You see, it says the 24 karat nudes and the other one is the blush nudes. Okay, now question, how many eyeshadow color do we normally put on the eyes? Well, I would suggest a minimum of 3. This 3 is composed of 1 transition shade and 2 primary colors. Now, since we're talking about transition, so what is now a transition shade? Now, transition shade, from the word itself, transition, it connects 2 colors together. Particularly the light color and the dark color. You can just imagine if you put these 2 colors together, you can just clearly see the contrast between the two. So the transition shade creates that gradient effect. And of course, it also helps the eyeshadow to blend with your skin tone. So if you notice that for smoky eyeshadow, you would see that between the skin on the brow bone and eyeshadow, there's like a slight color. Sometimes it's brown, sometimes it's something else. Well, that's actually the transition color. Okay, let's now talk about the brushes. We know that there are many types of eyeshadow brushes, and sometimes we're just confused which one to use. Now, if you're a beginner, you don't really have to fret about getting all those brushes. Well, for Morphe, I think they have like 60 types of brushes. But what I would suggest is for you to first identify what kind of eyes you have, because it will actually help you identify what type of brush that you will need. For example, this is a tapered brush, and it's quite narrow on tip and fluffy in the center. Well, it is actually designed for those who would like to create more intensity on the crease, because the tip part will pick up more product, so the intensity is more, especially when you try to blend in the product on your crease. I'll tell you the basic brushes that you would need to have as a beginner. Now, I know this one looks very familiar with you. It is basically an eyeshadow applicator. It works the same as this one. It just simply picks up the product and apply it on your eyelid. I normally use this for shimmery eyeshadow for my lids. Okay, next brush that I'm going to be showing you are the blending brushes. Now, these are the blending brushes. So this one and this one. So you use this in blending out the colors. Now, blending is very important to avoid the harsh edges on the eyeshadow, to make it look more natural. And of course, this type of brush is my favorite because my eyes are very Asian, and I would like to create more intensity on the crease to create that deep crease effect. So again, this is called a tapered brush. This one is M505 from Morphe. Sometimes I just use it alone without anything else, and it's pretty handy. Yeah, lastly, if you'd like to add a little bit detail on your eyeshadow, then you would need to have a smudger, okay, and a bullet brush. It's like a pencil. Now, I use this whenever I'd like to draw an outer V on my eyeshadow, and it creates more details on the crease. For the smudger, if you'd like to create a smoky effect underneath your eyes, then you would need to have this. So there you have it. I hope you have learned something on this video, and if you have some questions, just feel free to ask me. You can send a message on my Facebook account, or you can follow me on my Instagram. It's Condesa Pokesa, or you can leave a comment on my blog. It's www.condesapokesa.wordpress.com. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye.